So welcome back to another rebuild here on NBA 2K25 Next Gen. In today's video, we have the Indiana Pacers. Last season, Indiana ended up finishing the regular season with a record of 47-35. That was the 6th seed in the Eastern Conference, then ultimately walked all the way to the Eastern Conference Finals. And I use that term walked very loosely. Of course, matched up with Giannis and the Bucks in round one. Giannis was injured, Damian Lillard was injured. And honestly, I don't know if they get out of that first round if that is not the case. So, I don't want to discredit their run because ultimately they are a really good team and they are a lot of fun to watch. But I don't know if they get there. So this offseason for Indiana, they brought back a lot of their guys. There wasn't really any major losses, any major additions. And I truly think that this Indiana team could potentially be a top 4 seed next year. We'll talk a little bit more about this roster and how I really do think that this offense in particular is just so dangerous with the way they move the ball, the shots they get up. It is an unbelievably fun team to watch in just a second. Of course, before we do, let me know any other rebuild ideas down below in the comments section. Many people are asking me to do your favorite team. I promise you I will get to all of them eventually. I wish I could just do them all right now, but of course that is not the case. So anything you guys want to see, let me know down below. Excited for this one today, man. Let's get into it. Let's go ahead and talk about this roster a little bit. Of course, as we just discussed a little bit in the intro, this was a team that went all the way to the Eastern Conference Finals last year. Now, did end up getting swept by the eventual champion Celtics, but my God, did they ever put up a fight. Now, I'm not going to talk about it too long. I know I've said this in previous videos, and I do not want to make this about myself or my own team, but the Celtics run, of course, my favorite team. I will stand by this. The Pacers were the toughest team they faced. I know it was the only series they swept. I 1000% believe that, though. I don't know why. Many people also share that opinion. Indiana is a very, very good team, and they are going to be for a very long time. Now, that being said, of course, we talked a little bit about that first-round series against the Milwaukee Bucks, all the injuries they dealt with. There's also an argument that if in round 2 against the New York Knicks, Jalen Brunson doesn't break his hand or New York just doesn't come out looking like shit, which, again, I know, shit ton of hypotheticals. Maybe Indiana doesn't even get to the Eastern Conference Finals, but I do not want to discredit this team because this is a very talented team, and they're going to be for a very long time. I like Rick Carlisle a lot. His offense is fantastic. So let's talk about Tyrese Halliburton a little bit. 24 years old, of course, locked up on a long-term contract. One of the better point guards in the Eastern Conference. Hell, one of the better point guards in all of basketball. So he is the face of this franchise right now. Of course, we remember a few years back, the big blockbuster trade between the Indiana Pacers and the Sacramento Kings. Of course, sent Halliburton over here to Indiana, and the Pacers sent away Domantas Sabonis. So looking back on that, probably one of the bigger win-win trades in like recent NBA history. Feels like both sides are relatively happy with what they got out of that. So, I like Halliburton a lot. Obviously, tremendous facilitator of the basketball. Always going to be confused about his shot. It's just going to look so funky to me, basically till the end of time. But he's very good and will be for a very, very long time. They brought back TJ McConnell. My God, did this dude just torch my Celtics from the mid-range. I wanted to legitimately punch him in the fucking face. It's like he just never missed a shot. And I want to talk about somebody who also didn't miss a shot. This guy right here, Andrew Nembhard. Dude was legitimately Michael effing Jordan during the Eastern Conference Finals. It was insane. He just did not miss. So, I'm excited about seeing what he can do with him here today. It does not appear 2K has his contract extension locked in. Of course they don't, because they're 2K at the end of the day. So I will make sure that I update that. We will talk about it in just a second. You got Ben Shepherd here. Here's our one and only backup shooting guard. Certainly could be an area that we look to upgrade at some point in time. I don't know if we'll do that before year one, after year one, whatever it may be. But 71 overall on a team that I do actually think can contend in the East. Probably not going to cut it. It's not a shot at Shepherd. It's just the reality of the situation. Now, Ben Mathurin was, of course, injured, big part of last season. He's only 22 years old, and he is going to be a very important piece for this team moving forward. He is going to be my starting small forward today, and hopefully his overall continues to develop. They got Aaron Nesmith here, who is also a Celtic killer. I don't mean to keep talking about my team, but of course, him being a former Celtic, got in really a much bigger role when he went over to the Indiana Pacers, and I'm very happy for him. I really am. So good to see him locked up on a long-term contract. He's going to be a nice piece for this team. Similar to many other guys for a long time. You got Kendall Brown here as well, just kind of the third guy at a 69 overall. Probably not a lot we're going to be able to do with that here today. Pascal Siakam was, of course, the big piece they brought in at the deadline last year with that blockbuster trade with the Toronto Raptors. Ended up paying him a whole lot of money this offseason. Wasn't really surprising, but he is obviously one of the veteran pieces on this team that has a lot of playoff experience. Obviously an NBA champion with the Toronto Raptors already. So, I'm excited to see what Siakam can do in like a full season with this team now. Not like he was not meshing with the group, because he was absolutely fantastic throughout the majority of the playoff run. But, full offseason to get with the guys, I think he's going to be really good this next season. Brought in Obi Toppin as well. Again, it's just like one man's trash is another man's treasure. He does not end up working out super well in New York, comes over here to Indiana and just really finds a role that fits him. So, I'm excited to see, just the depth that this team has, honestly. Now, Jarris Walker is going to be an interesting one for me, because as things stand right now, there's not necessarily a huge role for him here in 2K anyways. So, the 8th overall pick back in 2023, those numbers for an 8th overall pick aren't necessarily, perfect or anything like that. So we'll see what's going to end up happening with his overall today. James Johnson, I'm convinced, is only on this roster in case the Bucks and the Pacers end up beefing again. I don't really see, him actually ever seeing the floor. So, it is always good to have veterans, especially on a team that is relatively young like this. So, yeah, James Johnson's here. And then Johnny Furphy, who was a second-round pick this year. I'm not really sure if he'll actually see the court here today. 6'9", 19 years old, out of Kansas. So, he's here. I mean, he's, as things stand, the 5th option right now. Probably 4th. I'd put him ahead of Johnson, but we'll keep an eye on that. And then the center spot, Miles Turner, who I think has been one of the more underrated big men in this league for quite some time. Obviously, a guy who can space the floor a little bit at that 84 overall. Certainly a logical, case that he's going to be my center the entire time today. And then you got Isaiah Jackson, who I think is going to be probably my backup center for the majority of this video. And they ended up bringing in James Wiseman as well after the departure of Jalen Smith. I believe he went to the Chicago Bulls. So, yeah, I mean, there's good depth on this team. There's no arguing that. There is maybe 1 or 2 moves that I want to make before we do kick off year 1, but I am excited for what this team can be. We are trading James Johnson. Now, this is not going to land us the shooting guard upgrade that we were looking for at the backup, 2-guard position, by the way. But we're going to be moving on from Johnson because it's going to clear up a roster spot. Now, we're going to get one, I guess, net second-round pick here from the Timberwolves. I was very, very interested in doing this deal here with the Kings, but, I can be a scumbag in these unrealistic rebuilds. This is kind of a little crazy, though. So, this is going to be the deal with the Timberwolves, and you might be asking yourself, well, what are you going to do with the backup shooting guard spot? And I am actually going to do something a little bit different. We're going to go ahead and bring back an old friend. Victor Oladipo, obviously, has had a lot of injuries throughout his career. He was so much fun to watch during his time in Indiana. I don't know if Pacers fans are going to love this, hate this, whatever it's going to be, but we're going to bring him in, let's say, I'm actually going to do 1 year because I don't want to trade him after this. We're just going to do 1 year, ride it out, the end of his career. So that's actually going to be the move. He will end up playing over Ben Shepherd here in this first season. But yeah, I don't know. That's kind of fun. It's a slight upgrade. It's 1 year. There's no injuries on here, so who really cares? So we have our 10-man rotation. Again, unfortunately, Jarris Walker just not really going to be finding himself any minutes here as we approach our first season, strictly because Siakam and Toppin are just a little bit better. So that is something we'll likely sort out in this first offseason. But as of now, excited here for year 1. Let's set that rotation. Rotation is finalized. We are ready to go. Year 1 here in Indiana. Here's how it's going to look. Not a lot of surprises, really, 1 through 5. It is Tyrese Halliburton, Andrew Nembhard, Benedict Mathurin, Pascal Siakam, and Miles Turner. Probably what the starting 5 is actually going to be. Bench unit will be led by TJ McConnell. You got Obi Toppin behind him, Aaron Nesmith, Isaiah Jackson, and then Victor Oladipo. Excited to have him back here. So, I talk about this a lot. We talked about it quite a bit in 2K24 anyways. Now we're bringing it over here to 2K25. Now, I am a big believer that depth is very, very important. But there is a very big difference between depth and quality depth. I've given this entire spiel before, and I'll try to keep this one short. The Indiana Pacers are one of these teams that has a lot of quality depth, right? There is not a lot of glaring weaknesses on this bench, and we haven't even really done anything with it. So, I'm excited about that fact. I love having depth just because they're tradable pieces. They're obviously cheap contracts. This Indiana team is set up very, very well. I like it quite a bit. So excited here for year 1. Hopefully Tyrese Halliburton can lead us back to the Eastern Conference Finals, maybe to the NBA Finals this time. I will see you guys at the end of the first season here in Indiana. It's a pretty decent start for us here with the Indiana Pacers. Wrap up the first season with a record of 51-31, all things considered. We really didn't do anything to this team. I'll take it. Luka Doncic, first career MVP. You guys know the drill at this point. These are always the same in year 1. All right, let's get into it. I'm not sure exactly where we're going to fall. We are the 2 seed. Wow. 51 wins. Takes the 2 seed here in the East. We are going to be facing a play-in team. That is fantastic. Here's a look at the West if you'd like to pause. Let's go over some numbers real quick. How did everybody play across the board? Led in scoring by Tyrese Halliburton, Pascal Siakam, Miles Turner, Ben Mathurin, McConnell, Nembhard, Toppin, Nesmith, Jackson, Oladipo. They got to up some of the tendencies here on Mr. Nembhard. He's better than this. Rebounds per game led by Turner, and assists was Halliburton, about 10 a game. So, facing a play-in team. Who is that play-in team going to be? It is the 7-seed Cleveland Cavaliers. Of course, Cleveland had a pretty busy offseason themselves, bringing back a lot of their own guys, and This is a good team. There wasn't a lot of major changes, but I am excited to see how things go here in year one, in round one. So we are currently down 2-1. Not exactly ideal. We do tie it up at 2-2. We go up 3-2, and we end up closing them out in 6 games. Now we move on to the Celtics. Of course, a rematch of last year's Eastern Conference Finals. This team is a ginormous pain in the ass to face because there's, obviously nobody lower than an 87 in the starting 5, but here goes nothing. Let's see if we can get a little bit of revenge here. We split the first 2 at home, win game 3 on the road, lose game 4, lose game 5, get bounced in 6. These pesky Celtics, man. Okay, it is going to be Jalen Brunson in the Knicks against Luka Doncic in the Mavericks here in the finals. Dallas wins it. Oh, but really? He was basically 55, 55, 95. Almost. Like, you know what I'm saying? That's okay. I think they like Luka. Let's get into offseason number 1. LeBron, CP3, Lowry, Al Horford. A lot of guys here calling it careers. Jay Hernandez, Hall of Fame inductees, jersey retirements, whole ordeal. I don't think the Pacers have traded for any picks that could potentially be in the lottery. So let's just sim through this. Wow, the Rockets were bad enough to have the number 1 overall pick. I understand the Jazz, the Blazers, Hornets, and Wizards. That all makes perfect sense. But really, Houston? Something always surprises me here. I think Rick Carlisle is probably the top 5, 6, 7 coach in the league. You can put him wherever you want, but just his systems in general have been so fantastic for this Indiana team. So he's obviously staying, even if the ratings aren't as good as maybe I would hope. We do have the 26th overall pick in round 1 and round 2, and I'm not going to use the second round pick. Some people maybe enjoy when I use second round picks. This isn't like Madden where you can find like a hidden gem in the second round. It just doesn't really happen, especially late in the second round. So I'll use number 26. I'm not exactly sure who it's going to be, if they're actually going to play, but you can take a look at the top 10, if you will, and let's just see who's sitting here for us. So Colin Murray-Boyles, not really familiar with him. Carter Knox is sitting here. He's actually somebody we've drafted before. Now, he is apparently, according to our scouting department, a C-, while there are 4 Cs ahead of him, but the rankings on him are pretty high, and it's a positional need. So Carter Knox is going to be my guy here. I'm not sure if he'll actually end up playing for us here in year 1, but he's going to be only a 71, so he's basically the same as Ben Shepherd. Everybody here is coming back. We are going to take a look here at some qualifying with Isaiah Jackson, and then we take a look here in free agency. Miles Turner is, my first priority is no real offers, so let's just pay Turner. And then Jackson, I think he's a solid enough backup center. Let's bring him back as well. So Oladipo, probably going to be the end of his run here. It was fun to bring him back for a season as the backup shooting guard, but now that we're fully in the offseason, we can probably get a little bit of a better option there. So, all right, Turner and Jackson, good to have both of our centers back. I think it is time for some sort of trade. We're going to talk to the Houston Rockets. Of course, last season was a very much down year in Houston, ended up with the number 1 overall pick, and we're going to see if they're maybe willing to trade me Jalen Green. Now, obviously, this would end up maybe moving Mr. Nembhard to the bench, which certainly isn't my favorite idea in the world, because I do think he is, I guess, due for a breakout season, not only in real life, but maybe here in 2K. But there's also something a little bit wrong with his tendencies, which, again, I fully just kind of blame 2K for. It's nothing wrong with him. So if we can get a little bit of an upgrade at the shooting guard spot, which is something we were probably going to eventually have to do anyways, I would like to do it. So Jalen Green, he is somebody who develops quite well in this game. I've noticed it throughout the many rebuilds I've done so far, so let's see if we can maybe strike a deal. Now, Obi Toppin is not somebody I would actually love to include in this deal, but he is in here, number 1, to make the money work, and then second, maybe more importantly, I do want to get Jarris Walker a little bit of playing time. Ultimately, he's 5 overalls lower than Toppin, but he's also younger. He was the 8th overall pick. He deserves some sort of opportunity. So I'm going to try to swing a deal here. Not exactly sure if they're going to take it. They are not. How about if I also go ahead and I'll throw in Johnny Furphy as well, and I don't have to give up a single draft pick, and we land ourselves Jalen Green. So Nembhard's just going to come off the bench, likely in a 6th-man capacity. Again, Jalen Green's an upgrade there. There's not really much debate around that one. So other than that, I don't really think there's many other major changes. We are pretty much all set. Excited to see Jarris Walker get a little bit of run now, and I'll just see you guys at the rotation at the start of year 2. Call me crazy, but I think this is a championship team. Last season, obviously, we were the 2 seed here in the East, lost to, I guess, the super team Celtics or whatever you want to call them. And I think this year we are even better. Now, we did lose maybe a little bit of that quality depth we discussed earlier on in the video, but we also gained, I guess, another star player here in Jalen Green. So I'm super excited to see how this team ends up doing. I have very high hopes, and hopefully those hopes turn into reality. It is Tyrese Halliburton, Jalen Green, Benedict Mathurin, Pascal Siakam, and Miles Turner as our 1 through 5. Bench unit will now be led by Andrew Nembhard, got Jabari, Jarris Walker here in a little bit of a bigger role. Basically goes from 0 minutes a night to a 7th-man capacity, which is a huge upgrade. You got Aaron Nesmith here, TJ McConnell, who we pretty much knew a little bit of a regression was going to hit, and then Isaiah Jackson rounding out the 10-man. So I'm excited. I really am. I think maybe 1 seed would be very much within play, and hopefully we can go out and achieve that. I will see you guys at the end of year number 2. 2K is certainly on one today. I had a little bit of a suspicion that we would be really good, and that suspicion, I would say, if it was possible, became more than true, because we go 72-10. Your guess is as good as mine. This game surprises me in many different ways every single day. Now, Luka wins another MVP. Cooper Flagg, your Rookie of the Year. Jamal Murray now a Detroit Piston. You know why? Because 2K refuses to update his fucking contract that has been in place now for over 2 weeks. How hard is it? It drives me fucking crazy. Wemby is your depoy. Rob Dillingham, most improved. Steph Curry, clutch player of the year. And yeah, our guy, Rick Carlisle, taking home coach of the year after a 72-10 season. I think it is a safe bet. We are the 1 seed here in the East. 23 games up on the 2 seed Chicago Bulls. And only by 4 games. We are. Wow. This game loves Dallas. And it is the best record in the league. Okay, let's go over some numbers real quick. How did everything kind of shake out for us? It is Halliburton. Jalen Green looked like a, fantastic addition. Just kind of slid right into that shooting guard spot quite nicely. Ben Mathurin, Pascal Siakam, Turner, Nembhard, Walker, McConnell, Nesmith, and Jackson. Everybody 1 through 10 averaged over 5 points a game. Siakam led us in rebounds and then assists. It was going to be Halliburton. So, obviously facing a play-in team. That play-in team is going to be the Toronto Raptors. And while I do think they are off to a pretty good start in their, rebuild, if you will, I think we are just in a much better position. So I don't do this often, but I will sim the round. Now we move on to the New York Knicks. This was a team that was just in the NBA Finals last year, and it makes me a little nervous. I'm not going to lie to you. So let's see what happens here in the Eastern Conference semis. Of course, this is where we lost last year to the Celtics. That does not appear that is going to be the case this year as we beat them in 5. Now it is us and the Bulls who... Again, not really sure how they're here. If I'm being completely honest with you, they have our old friend Obi Toppin somehow. I didn't trade him to the Bulls, so interesting, but let's just do this. Yeah, thanks for coming. It is us and against Anthony Edwards and the Minnesota Timberwolves here in the NBA Finals. Mike Conley still going strong. Ant, Jaden McDaniels, Karl Anthony Towns, Rudy Gobert, added Keon Ellis, Rob Dillingham is still there. I think we're just so much better than this team, and I think we can get this done. So maybe not. Hang on a damn minute. Up 3-2, we head back to Minnesota to potentially close them out on their own home floor. Can we get this done? I would very much like to. Keep it close, at least. Go back and forth. Hold the lead. Hold the damn lead. Okay. I'll see you in there. We are currently up by 7. There is just over 1:45 left to go here in Game 6. And we, of course, are on the verge of winning a championship. Now, this one is not completely over. You guys know me. Not exactly my strong suit in terms of, content creation. Not gameplay, anyways, is what I'm trying to say. So I will relatively try to keep myself composed while, I guess trying to play smart, but trying to, waste time. You get the point. So Anthony Edwards is going to go 2 for 2 from the stripe. We are now down to a 5-point ball game, and we are going to try to do our best to score points, but also waste clock. So let's call for the ISO here on Rob Dillingham. I'm going to put him one-on-one with Halliburton. That's not what I meant to do. They tried to shoot it. Okay. Halliburton going to drive down the lane. Going to just get inside Dillingham. Whoa, not what I meant there. Okay, get by Dillingham is a better way to phrase that. Okay, back up to a 7-point ball game. They're going to put Jalen Green here on Anthony Edwards, who's going to be their primary ball handler. He's just going to drive all the way down, a little 10-foot jump shot. Basically just gets that for free. I got to maybe not play on-ball defense here. Against Ant, that would probably be a smart idea. So we're calling for the ISO again. I'm going to try to one-on-one Mr. Dillingham here. And I think we can get a little screen here. If Miles Turner or Pascal Siakam wants to set a screen, I'd be cool with it. So somebody come give it to me. Let's do this. Tyrese, little jump shot, got that one as well. Okay, just trading buckets. Look at him skipping up and down the court. Oh, that's awesome. I'm not playing on-ball defense against Anthony Edwards because not only is this game, love him, he is very good. He's going to go up and get fouled. I switched on to try to block the ball with Turner. Maybe not a smart idea, but you know what? Let's make him earn it the hard way. From the stripe, he has 21 points on the night. Feels like it would maybe be a little bit more if this game's that close, but that's fine. 6-point ball game. Anthony Edwards is, very good. And he's probably going to be the guy that has the ball in his hands every single time. So, second free throw is up. Second free throw is no good. Wow, that's a bit of a shock. Let's get it back over here to Siakam. Feel like I'd rather have him handling the ball. And, nope, back up. I passed. I fucking hit pass. This is why I do not like gameplay, but you all are sick in the head and you love watching me suffer. And I guess it makes it more interesting. So, yep, I'm a dumbass. I hit pass. I was spamming fucking X and it just did not happen. So, Ant's gonna, oh my God. Why would you not drive that right down? That doesn't feel smart. Now they're gonna play the foul game here. Oh, wow. Ant had a lane. He had a wide open shot. at the basket, and they don't want to do that. All right, Halliburton's release is a little funky, so can I maybe get this off with, like, Jalen? Oh, they're not fouling. Okay. You don't... Oh, they're going to... Hello? They want to double? I'm fucking losing it here, man. I'm losing it. Oh, my God. Oh, man, I'm blowing this one. Holy shit. All right, they're going to probably foul now, so let me have Jalen Green because I do not want to shoot free throws here with Halliburton. He's a good free throw shooter, I know. I'm terrible with releases, and his funky-ass jump shot certainly not going to help my case right now. So let's go to the stripe here with Jalen Green. We are in the bonus. The screen is shaking like crazy. Slightly early, but still good enough to get it to go. Thank you, Jalen, for scoring your 8th point of the night. I'm sure Nembhard could have done that. Okay, second free throw. This obviously a big one as well. Up, and it is excellent. Beautiful. They're going to take a timeout with 21 and a half seconds left. This one, it's over. An unbelievably dominant season comes to an end here. We end up beating the Minnesota Timberwolves in 6 games, and Tyrese Halliburton is your MVP. Wins 72 games throughout the regular season, pretty much dominate the Eastern Conference all the way through, and then beat the Timberwolves in 6. Beautiful way to cap it off. We now have one more season to go. Of course, Jimmy Butler, wow, calling it a career. Klay Thompson down here as well. Damn, man, Jimmy not going to ever get a ring. Popovich also calling it a career. We were going to enter the draft lottery. Of course, I don't think we're going to actually have any sort of pick in here, so let's sim through it. The Sixers. What I've noticed recently, or not even really recently, just in general, I've been seeing a lot of, like, pretty decent teams always end up with the number 1 overall pick. Hey, if you guys have been playing 2K25 a lot, let me know if you guys have also noticed that. It's just something that's just been kind of in the back of my head. It's very, very weird. Obviously, Carlisle going to be staying on. We head up to the NBA draft. Let's see what we are working with. In the pick department, we end up having no picks this year, which is actually completely fine by me. Team player options, I will be bringing back Jarris Walker as my backup power forward. Now, Ben Mathurin entering restricted free agency. And, you know, outside of that, there's probably not going to be a lot of major changes. Wow, Mathurin wants 30 AAV. Oh, wait, whoa, what the fuck? Why do I not have any sort of bird rights on Jalen Green? Okay, well, this could end up going sideways. Are you kidding me? Is he gone? No, he's right here. Okay. Seriously? Oh, my God. Why? Okay. I cannot lose Jalen Green. I'm pretty much cooked. Okay, so McConnell probably has to go. It's not even like anybody else is getting paid like crazy. Like, I've spent way more than this, and I've been able to retain my guys. So let me see what I can do in terms of, like, Davion Mitchell, probably not enough. Oh, man. Jacoby Walter, maybe. Jordan Hawkins at $7 million annually. God damn it, dude. This was, like, perfect until it wasn't. All right, I'll try Davion Mitchell for now. Is that going to be enough to maybe let me bring back Jalen Green? Is it? No, I'm cooked. I can't bring him back. This fucking game, man. It's something new every single time. I swear to God, it really is. So, you know what? Maybe we'll head into year 3 with Nembhard as our guy. I mean, I don't want to lose Jalen Green for nothing, but if 2K wants to bullshit me like this, then I guess I really don't have any other choice. So, it's fine. We already won our championship. Just, man, why is that? It's just like, it's dumb. It's never really been an issue before, and all of a sudden it is now. It's just, no, nothing. This game, man. It's every single time. It's something new. Like, I understand there's a lot of money being shelled out here, but let me just explain this. I wasn't even able to offer Jalen Green a contract before I even paid Mathurin. So take out this $30 million from whatever math you're doing in your head right now. I still couldn't sign him back. So I get it. There's a lot of money out here. Our balance sheet is probably completely screwed up, but my God, it did not feel like it was this bad. So, all right, let's look at some. Oh my God, like, I'm gonna freaking shoot somebody. We could just, I guess, bring back Ben Shepherd if we want to rock with him, give him a shot. Now, just like, man, why is it that this game pisses me off? All right, we still might try to make maybe one more upgrade. We've already won a championship, and we're entering the final season, and quite honestly, I'm not really going to just sit back and do nothing. So this isn't something I want to do. I like Nembhard. I like him quite a bit, actually, and I think he would be even better next season, but I need a little bit of an upgrade. So him and Aaron Nesmith is what I'm currently offering. I do have a couple draft picks that I can probably include just because, quite honestly, there's no other reason for me to hang on to them. So any way I could possibly get this done, thank you very much. So, yeah, it's shitty. I didn't want to have to do that, and it's just 2K. What we're going to do is move one of Carter Knox or Ben Shepherd to the backup small forward spot. They're both 6'6". The shooting stats a little bit better on them, or excuse me, on Shepherd. So I guess we'll move Carter Knox there. See you guys at the start of the third and final season. To be completely honest with you, I'm still a little disappointed about the way this one kind of shook out. Now, obviously, replacing Jalen Green with Shaden Sharp isn't necessarily the worst option in the world. It definitely could have been worse. But it's the lack of depth that we just lost. I do not like losing players for nothing. It is one of my prime principles that I have instilled in my rebuilds for years, and I have been very meticulous about the way I do things for a very specific reason, so situations like that don't happen. But 2K had some different plans. It is Halliburton, Shaden Sharp, Ben Mathurin, Siakam, and Miles Turner. Again, on paper, the starting five is still absolutely incredible. Bench unit will now be led by Jarris Walker. It is a crazy jump for him as he goes from basically starting out year one, not even seeing the floor, to now being a sixth man playing 20 minutes a night. Isaiah Jackson behind him, Davion Mitchell, Carter Knox, and then Ben Shepherd. So again, losing some of that quality depth that we've talked quite a bit about throughout this video. So disappointing, but not surprising given the franchise that we all, spend money with every year. I will see you guys at the end of the final regular season. While it wasn't the 72-win season we had just a year ago, all things considered, what we, had to deal with this past offseason, it was a really strong year at 66-16. It is cool to see somebody else besides Luka win an MVP. Congrats to Mr. Jokic. Would that be, his fourth career MVP? AJ DeBance is your Rookie of the Year. Cameron Boozer, sixth man. Wemby, your DPOY. Devin Carter, most improved. Jokic, Clutch Player of the Year. And Rick Carlisle, second straight Coach of the Year for us here in Indiana. Okay, let's take a look at the standings. Once again, the 1 seed and the 2 seed didn't even win 50 games. What a damn shame. And here's a look at the West. We are clear-cut the best team in the league. Okay, points per game. It was Halliburton, Ben Mathurin, Shaden Sharp, Pascal Siakam, Turner. You guys have eyeballs. You can figure it out. All right, rebounds led by Siakam, and assists was Hallie. So round one, we are going to be dancing with the Chicago Bulls. Of course, this was a 2 seed just a year ago, and that was maybe one of the bigger surprises. I feel like 8 seed's a little bit more suitable for them. We sweep them. Now moving on to the Toronto Raptors, a team we also faced last year, who have now added Jaren Jackson Jr., who I would, personally probably not play at the center spot. Not necessarily known at this, really. You're damn near 7 feet tall. You got to give me more than that, especially as a center. Come on, dude. All right, here goes nothing. We are currently up 2-0 against Toronto. We go up 3-0, and we end up sweeping them out of their own building. Now, it is us and the Pistons here in the Eastern Conference Finals. Oh, fuck you. You're just rubbing it in my face now, 2K. Man. All right, well, here goes nothing. Eastern Conference Finals time. Quick 2-0 lead, up 3-0, and we have... Oh, I was just going to say, to lose a playoff game, and that's how it works for me. End up winning in 5. We are back in the NBA Finals, this time taking on this demigod here in Victor Wembanyama and the San Antonio Spurs. So can we go back-to-back here with Janelle Fland, Stephon Castle, Johnson? Yeah, I mean, it's pretty good. I think we're better. Well, maybe not. Maybe not. Okay, wow. I guess Wemby is just a little... Oh, the more things change, the more they stay the same. I can tell. It's actually sad. It's almost sick because I've played this game in too long, and it's just... I can tell when the blown 3-0 lead is going to happen. I can tell when it's going to happen to me. I can tell when I'm going to do it to somebody else. It's insane. But no, what an interesting rebuild this was. I had plans to, I guess, make a dynasty, and I guess we kind of started one here. But my God, man, it's just... The game always throws curveballs at me. It really does. So, it was fun, though. We put together a good team. Of course, I would have liked if Jalen Green could have still been here along with Mr. Andrew Nembhard, but not the case. So, Pacers fans, don't kill me for trading Nembhard. I didn't want to do it. I had to do it. So, this one was fun, though. I hope you guys enjoyed. Let me know any other rebuild ideas down below in the comment section. As always, thanks so much for watching. I love you guys. I'll catch you guys all in the next one.